don't pick that life picked you. Welcome to Sit Down News, and before I begin, I'd like to mention our sponsor. Ratchet is a clothing company from the UK started by a young man with a vision, a dream, and determination. They have various prints and styles for men, women, and children. I'll include a link to their website down below in the description for this video. All right, question and answers, let's get started. When a member gets shelved, does it depend on who the guy knows or what family he's in to get taken off or reinstated? If so, does he still get the same respect as before? First, I can't stress enough how serious the term is being put on a shelf. It's the equivalent of getting killed. It all depends on the circumstances that got you on the shelf in the first place. You may never come off that shelf, but by chance you do, they're going to treat you the same and respect you the same as before. Suppose a made guy starts a fight with a civilian. Can the civilian fight back? As long as the civilian doesn't know who the guy is that he's fighting with, but it becomes an issue when you do know who it is and you pick your hands up. But in either case, it doesn't mean that the guy's not going to retaliate. If a person is made on the other side and comes here to join a New York family, do they have to get remade, or does being made on the other side carry over? For those of you who don't know, the other side is either Sicily or Italy that they're talking about. It doesn't matter if they were inducted on the other side. When they come here to America, they have to be reinducted into a family. How much power and influence do the 5 families have in the New York State prisons compared to prison gangs? The answer is not much, and it really depends on who's in the facility at the time. I remember one time there was an incident between the guys on our court and the gang, the Bloods. That afternoon I went out to the yard and went to our court. There was about 25, 30 guys hanging out. They explained what was going on, and I walked over to approach the head Blood. They call him King Blood. He was an older black guy, about 50, 60 years old at the time. So he was sitting on a bench, and he had about 3, 4 young Blood kids standing around him. We started talking about the issue that was going on, and he turns around and he said to me that he's a general, and if he gives the marching orders, his soldiers are going to come out tonight and start stabbing people. So I smiled at him and I told him, you see those guys over there? And he took a look. Like I said, there was about 25, 30 guys there. I said, if I go back and talk to them, they're not going to wait till tonight. They're going to start stabbing people today, and guess who's going to be target number 1? But as I mentioned, it really doesn't matter who you are or who you belong to in prison. It's kind of how you carry yourself and who's in the facility at the time. Why do guys like Amuso, Persico, and Andy Mush refuse to relinquish power? And how much power and influence can they really have behind bars doing life? The first answer is, and many civilians that are not part of that life wouldn't understand this, in Cosa Nostra, your boss is your boss, and that comes first. For some of these guys, it's an ego thing and a power trip. They don't want to give up the power. But for most of them, it's about isordi, as we say. It's about money. And the boss can make decisions from prison. Does he know the everyday activities, what's going on within his family? No. But that's what an acting boss is for. So a few people have mentioned this. They read that John Gotti had justified his affair that he had with Ernie's wife because Ernie's wife's mother was Neil Dellacroce's mistress, not his wife. First of all, Neil Dellacroce's mistress, who he wind up moving in with and living with, wasn't married. She wasn't somebody's wife. That's the first thing. And when people say that they heard John Gotti said this or John Gotti said that, I'm confused. Did John Gotti write an autobiography, or did he do a special with Barbara Walters that I didn't know about? I mean, the guy wouldn't even talk to a priest on his deathbed. Where are they getting this from? In your opinion, does a guy getting hit in a restaurant help or hurt the business? In the case of Umberto's, where Joe Gallo was killed, it helped business. But for Bravo Sergio, where they killed Irwin Schiff, it wound up hurting business, and ultimately the business had to close down. Was your latest video with the Phil Collins song a message? So the answer is no, I wasn't sending any messages. If somebody wants to take it that way, that's on them. I was up late one night and I put it together. That's really it. I want to take a second to thank everyone who has subscribed to the blog. You can find it on sitdownnews.com. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and by subscribing, you'll not only help the blog, you'll help this channel as well, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. Once again, I thank everyone for the questions. If you have any questions, you could put them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to as much as I can. You can subscribe to the Sit Down News blog at sitdownnews.com, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. Thank you. Well, just another example in the mob you never knew about. Hope you enjoyed the story. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you could do so down below. If you would like to subscribe to my other channel, Unlimited Substance Podcast, I'll add a link in the description for this video.